But today I want to talk to you guys about the JACKSON KING V. Basically, I've done something, I've hashed together my own kind of custom spec signature King V, I suppose, in a way. Please don't judge my Photoshop skills because I have none. I've basically just lined up point on the King V and changed the shape. And if you're wondering why I've done that, I've been using the King V live for 10 years. Out of those 10 years, there's only 2 times I've actually used a guitar that is not the King V. One time was a bus string, and the other time was when my King V got knocked over and the Floyd took the brunt of the knock, and I didn't have time before we actually went on stage to figure out everything what might have gone wrong. I didn't have time to check the springs, I didn't have time to do anything, even take the note off and retune. It was that close. We're running that close to the start of the show. So yeah, 2 gigs in 10 years I've used a different guitar from the King V, so that's how much I love it. Why do I love the King V so much? Well, that's easy, because when you stand up and you've got your strap on, it balances absolutely perfectly. For me, the neck sits up perfectly. It really appeals to me the way it sits, the way you can move around on stage with it. It's really light, it's really maneuverable. It looks pointy and big, like a lot of pointy guitars are quite clumsy and large, but when you actually stand up with it and you've actually got it on the strap, it's actually quite a small feeling guitar. It doesn't feel like a big long pointy thing, like an ML, say, or a Razorback or something like that. It feels quite small, quite short, and it's a nice feel for me. I like the way it sits up, the neck sits up, so you're not adjusting it all the time, and that's why I use it live, and that's why it's been my main live guitar for a while. Now, the one thing that bugs me is I love my King V, but it's now sat in its case. I've not done a gig for, it was the Christmas before COVID, so what's that, the whole COVID thing. I think that's like 2 years maybe I've not done a show for. I will be doing some soon in the near future. I've got a project I'm working on. I'm hoping to get some gigs out of that project. So yeah, what bugs me about it is it's just sat in its case now, kind of getting old, not getting used. It's been used on the channel a couple of times, but it's not getting used that much, because when you sit down with the King V, you can put the lower point, I guess, the lower wing, through the middle of your legs, and then close your legs and nip it together and play it that way, which is what a lot of people do, and it kind of sits up. But what I found was that I'm old, and if I do that for too long, my hip starts getting a bit gnarly. I've got a hip injury that I've had a while, and it bugs my hip injury doing that. The other way is to put the strap around you and set it really high, so basically you can sit up with it and it's just hanging there as if you were stood up, but extra high. But it's not really that comfortable, like, I don't really like my guitar that high. So for me, it was a weird one. I like the King V and I want to use it at home, but it's just not comfortable. So what I decided to do was think about what I could do to make that King V be able to sit and balance on my knee. Now, for those of you that don't know, before I was with JACKSON guitars, I was using Dean guitars, and I had 3 Dean Razorbacks and also a Razorback V, and before then I had an ML, and obviously those guitars, along with the Explorers and those types of shapes, because of the extra point, like the Kelly sort of thing, pointing forwards, you can balance it on your knee, on your leg, and I like that, and that point, that extra point wouldn't bug me on the King V. That's what I've always thought. I thought if that extra point was there somehow, it wouldn't change anything. It probably wouldn't affect the balance that I love when I'm stood up with it on the strap. And I thought also I'd be able to sit down with it and it wouldn't really get in the way. In fact, there's a lot of access on guitars like that, probably more access than there is on any other guitars up high. So I thought, well, I'm going to go on Adobe Spark. That's like a Photoshop, a mini Photoshop app that you can use on your phone. I thought, I'm just going to see what it actually looks like. So what I did was I copied the upper wing and I cropped it and I spun it round and I started trying to line it up to see where it would fit best and where it would look right. And I tried it, and to be honest, it didn't take long to crop it, but it sounds stupid because my Photoshop skills are terrible. It looks terrible, but what I want you to focus on is really the outline of the guitar, to try and imagine what it would be like if it was photoshopped much better than I can. And what I was trying to do was line it up so it looked symmetrical and didn't look stupid. There's a lot of King V's copies out there that are trying to be like the King V, and they look terrible. There's bits cut off them, especially up high here at the front. ESP do one, Solo Guitars do one. My dog's knocking the camera stand. Please move. So yeah, I don't like them. I like my guitar to be symmetrical and look right. I don't like bits jutting out looking wrong. So with pointers, it's really important to get this extra point that we're going to put on in the right position. I think I finally settled on where I want it to be. I actually sent the guitar picture to my artist relation at Jackson just for the laugh, for no other reason. I don't think for 1 minute anyone's gonna make me a signature Jackson. The custom shop would, obviously, if I got in touch, but you know, I've not got that kind of money lying about. Even as a Jackson artist, I've just still not got that type of money to throw at a guitar, although it would be pretty cool. But yeah, so I sent it to my artist relation. He said it needs moving back a touch, and I was like, God damn, I spent so long like trying to line that damn point up so it looked right to me. Now I've shown someone else that it looks wrong to him. So I don't know. So then I started looking at Explorers and Kellys and MLs and all these kind of guitars that have this extra point on at the front so it can balance on your knee. And what I started noticing was that the actual bit where your leg sits is usually around the bridge pickup area, and on the Photoshop that I'd done, it was more towards the neck pickup area. Now I think it looks right like that, but I'm not sure whether when you put it on your knee it would, with the wings being at the back, it would kind of tip that way, you know. But I'm not a guitar designer. I can't go and hash up, you know, a guitar in a workshop and see how it balances or anything like that. I've just got this Adobe Spark app that can allow me to kind of almost create what it would look like if I knew what I was doing. Anyway, what I wanted to do was just show you guys what I've done and see what you guys think and try and get some feedback. Because then I started thinking, I wonder how hard it would be to get, like, there's a Luther that lives near me, Shane Haig is his name, and check him out on Facebook and stuff. He does some really cool stuff, especially finishes, paint jobs and stuff. But what I want to actually do is, I thought, hang on, I could buy like an X series King V, and maybe he could strip the paint off and glue this extra wing on the front for me, and then I could have kind of my own custom Jackson without having to go to the custom shop. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about my design. I'm sorry the Photoshop is terrible. You can clearly see that I've just gone and stuck something on the side of the guitar, but let me know what you think. I want some feedback on this because I think it's really cool. It is kind of Razorback-ish. It's kind of like a crossover between like a Razorback and a King V. It's kind of like both those guitars in one. I quite like it. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel for more stupid stuff. I don't usually do stuff like this, obviously, but I just thought I'd put it out there because I'd done it. I spent an hour doing it. I thought I might as well make a video about what I've done, because somebody somewhere might be interested in it, and see what you think. I guess this video is aimed at the King V players, the Jackson King V players and King V lovers. That they are the people that I want mainly to comment on this, to see whether it's ugly or awful or, you know, hated, or whether it's actually a thing what many of you guys might feel is needed, like I do. So let me know in the comments what you think. Please subscribe, click the bell, and I will see you all soon.